Okay, here we are on day number 7. On the way to Missoula today. The destination is known, Missoula, and the obstacle is the path through those mountains right up there. We're about 2 hours and maybe 25 miles into a 77-mile climb today to Low Pass, which is about 4,000 feet of elevation gain. Pass is right at 5,200, and the last time I rode through that I was getting snowed on and rained on, so I brought some extra gear for today. Hopefully that's just a little extra weight on my back all the way up and all the way back down on the other side. It's going to be a long one today, so I got a pretty decent early start, rolled out a little before 6. And I don't care to comment on how I'm feeling so far today. We'll save that as the jury is still out for a little bit further up the road. But there are no services for the next 50 miles or so. So I've got a little extra food, a couple of candy bars. Should be enough to get me over the top. And then after Missoula, we can slow this thing down a little bit. I'm looking forward to that. Well, I thought I'd try a little experiment here. See if I can do this without either crashing or dropping the camera. I think we've got the camera pretty well secured. Wish I'd have been a little quicker on the draw. I came around that last corner, and these mountains up in front of us are really a particularly good look of what we're going to be huffing and puffing up here. I am cranking along, mashing on the big cookie for the stretch of this climb that's alongside the river. It stays nice and gradual. Of course, at some point that river veers off and we turn and we go up steep, so I am on the billy goat today. There's a nice view. That's a big hillside. But yeah, I thought I'd record a few seconds of what it looks like at 18.5 miles per hour. I think we got just a touch of a tailwind out here, although all the leaves are pretty well sitting still, so it's mostly calm. Certainly no headwind. And we'll try this again when we get a different look. Okay, we're now 4.5 hours in. Still kind of close to the stream. We can't see it right now, but I'll bet you around this corner we'll be right back on it. It's getting a little steeper, and I'm watching some weather develop here. This has been happening really fast. It went from a blue sky to a nice cloud cover in the course of about 20 minutes, and the temperature down here has dropped, making it real comfy right now. Might get a drop or two of rain out of it, but we'll be alright. We're cranking up at 14 miles per hour, and we are no longer munching on the big cookie. We're in the middle ring. That's a good place to be. We see the river again here. It's right through that line of trees. You'll notice there's a lot less water here. We're making our way up the hill. There we go. Looks like blue sky in front of us again. So we'll see how it all plays out. I'll bet you'd like me to explain to you what that is. The only trouble with that is I haven't the slightest idea in the world. It's floating, it's using the current to spin something, and it's not really moving anywhere. There's a line strung across the river here, tightened right up. I don't see any signal cables coming off of it or anything. I am perplexed. Anyway, well, 5 hours in now, really starting to make some elevation gain here. Got about 12 more miles to the summit. I don't think we're going to see any snow. I was wrong earlier. Happens a lot on this trip. That's why we're out here doing it. Feeling pretty good now. Had some lunch about an hour ago. I was riding up the road, starting to get a little hungry, opened up my backpack, and grabbed what I thought were my sandwiches that I had made up last night. Turns out that while I made up 2 nice sandwiches and stuffed them in a bread bag, threw them in the fridge, this morning when I got up, I reached in there, grabbed the bread bag, and got on the road. And the bread bag that I grabbed had 4 plain slices of bread in it. So, wasn't going to starve, but there's no way that a plain old piece of bread can compete with a peanut butter jelly. So, about 4 hours in, Lana came zinging by. Seems like she knows exactly when to drive by. That gave me a good chance for lunch, refill the water bottles. Actually, it was warm earlier. These clouds came in. It's just beautiful out here now. Beautiful. I can see, you know, there might be too much light for the camera, but some thunderheads are forming, but they may or may not do anything to us. Anyway, time to get over this hill. Been working on this thing for over 5 hours now, so we'll have one last look at this, what was once a raging river down at the bottom. Now it's just a stream. I believe it's called the Locksaw up here, the Locksaw. We'll follow this as far as we can, and at some point that road's going to turn and go right up one of these walls, but I'm looking forward to it. Well, you can see we have made it to the top of the Lolo Pass. Really wasn't the toughest climb we're going to have. Never did get overly steep. It was a long one. I am currently sitting on some pavement, kind of looking around, enjoying the scenery, and stretching out my lower back. Got a little tight on me. I don't think it's anything to worry about, but figured a little stretching would be welcomed up here. It's beautiful weather. Up on top, I was expecting to see some snow peak. Nah, it's probably 70 degrees up here. If we look right up above the Welcome to Montana sign, you'll see there a little wind gauge, which of course is showing a substantial tailwind for me up here on top. That's great. The thing to do now is get back on the bike, and we drop down about 2,000 feet so we don't get anywhere near all of it back. And Lolo is about 35 miles away. And we'll see how we feel down there. But 35 miles, that ought to take about an hour and a half with this grade. And then it's 11 more up to Missoula, so we'll get there today.